Interpolation, what it do, and what it could do for you. According to the Mugen docs, Mugen 1.1 and higher, which doesn't exist, supports interpolation in animation files, the .air files. There are 4 different kinds of interpolation, which you can see here. We have offset, which will change position, blend, which will blend out like transparency, scale, which is large and shrink, angle, which is the rotate. And if you look into the Mugen docs folder for air, you'll find this there. Remember, this is only for Mugen 1.1 and Ikemen, of course. So I went ahead and did the animations to all of that, and I'm going to show you how they work. So the way it works is you have to pretty much have a frame, and then you write interpolate and then the type of interpolation you want. In this case, I'm using offset. Offset is about positioning. So it's going to interpolate pretty much the position from -100 to -50 to -25 to +25, +50, +100. So it's going to be going across a straight line. And the time I have is 10 ticks. Whenever you interpolate, the time is very important. The more time you have, the smoother it looks. But you don't want to ever give it too much time, because then it's going to throw off the whole look of whatever you're trying to get. So this is interpolate offset. Here's the frames and how they look. Pretty janky. And when you play it using interpolate offset, you get this. It's pretty smooth, right? Now, just to repeat how that worked. Frame 100, well, group 100 index 0, which is the first frame of run, is going to start at -100 position, which is to the left right here. For 10 ticks, it's going to move to this frame. So between 10 ticks, it's going from here to here, these in-between frames, and then so on. And that's how that works. You could try with anything and you'll get the same results. Now, the next is Interpolate Blend. What Blend does is it'll usually blend from a sprite to like a fade out or a fade in, you know? It's perfect for fade outs and fade ins. It's so much better in using the old method of ASD, a number, D, a number, and, you know, making up the frames, and it's more consistent. Basically, the whole computer algorithm does the formula for you. So he's gonna bow, fade out, fade back in. I used 120 so we could see the fade. So I'm gonna play this one. There we go. And here's how the code looks. Interpolate Blend will only work if the previous frame is transparent. And transparent as in it has a source and a dist. I don't know what this stands for. I can't remember, honestly. But if you put this to 255, he looks transparent already. We don't want that. So setting it to 0 will affect the darkness, and it'll make him normal color. Setting the source to 0 makes him invisible, for lack of a better term. Yeah. So we start him off with transparency addition, source 255, dist 0 to get the regular palette. Time is how long you want the blend to work, and then a blank frame. Or if you're working in reverse, you have a blank frame, in this case 30 ticks, and then a regular frame. Same thing, addition, 256 source, and 0 dist. And it will look like this. There you go. Next is Interpolate Scale. You know what? This is normal. Okay, so this is where it gets a little interesting. So Mugen 1.1 and above, Ikemen Go, supports scaling in the animation file. We've never had this before prior to 1.1. So how does it look? Basically, the way the animation works is you have your group, your index, your X position, Y position, time, transparency, I think, transparency, Then you have the flip. Then you have the X scale, Y scale stuff. Let me open a notepad. WordPad's fine enough. Blah blah blah. X scale, Y scale. And the last thing is angle. I'm just going to enlarge this a bit so you can see it properly. But this is pretty much how your how the animation is. Oh my god, can't get a good size. There. Which normally looks like, say, 0, 0, which is standing frame 1, position 0. Position 0 means aligned to nothing. Time will be 10. Transparency would be nothing. If you leave it blank, it counts as nothing. No transparency. No flip. Scale would be 1 to 1. Angle would be 0. This is what your animation file could look like, and this is just displaying the single frame normally. You don't need this, but you can include it for no reason. But that's what all the positions mean. So going back here, we're using his dizzy animation, 5300. Image, cell phone. Image 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So he's gonna be dizzy back and forth, back and forth. Everything's the same. We have no transparencies, we have no flips. Then we go to scale. We start 2 times the scale, then we scale down to 1.66 and then 1.33. I just made these numbers up. Use whatever you want to use if you use this. And then this one has no scale, as in this is the default size of the sprite. Then scaling back up. When you play it, it looks like this. The tricky thing about this is it's all about timing. If your timing is too fast, it looks like this. If your timing is too slow, it looks like this. And if your timing is like out there, it looks like this. It doesn't make any sense. The reason you use Interpolate Scale is pretty much if you're doing like an effect, like an exploit that's zooming in or zooming out, like for a super, which I'm actually going to show at the end of this explanation. So for now, this is how Interpolation Scale works. And it has to be in between each frame to interpolate each frame to the next frame. It doesn't work singly. Next is Interpolate Angle. So we have the Earth sprite aligned to midsection. 60 ticks, everything's pretty much 0, and by not having anything here, I'll put a 0, that'll make it 0 angle. And we're going to rotate to 360 degrees. 360 is a full rotation, so it's normal for it to look like this. With the Interpolate Angle, it's going to rotate like that, as you can see. The problem is with Interpolate Angle, I can't pronounce the word right. With this, it tends to ramp up the speed of the rotation. So as I set this to 500, watch what happens. It goes faster and faster. I think he's about to like break the sound barrier or something. But that's how that works. If you're rotating a sprite in game, say you are putting a character in a custom animation, you're rotating them, or you're rotating an effect, I personally would use angle draw in the coding, and I'm going to show you how to do that for rotation. But if you're doing something where an animation could be rotated, like say a beam, like a Kamehameha beam or a Hadouken beam, or a projectile that's being shot downwards instead of forward, I would use Interpolate Angle for that. Put this back to what, like 10? Yeah, it's crazy. Now, I'm going to show you how to do the angle draw code now before anything else. So first things first, this is the angle draw example. I have a line to midsection, and I'm just going to change my basic punch attack to do it. So it's 9004. Here's the angle draw code. The trigger is totally based on whatever you want it to be based on. It could start at any time, any trigger you want it to start. In this case, I'm using it like this, so when I change the animation here, this will take effect. So to rotate an angle draw, you pretty much want to have a value. You don't need scale or the other little minor codes. You just need a value. The value is going to rotate. So it's going to start at 1 instead of 0 starts at 1. You can start at 0 also, but I just put 1 here for this. Plus time, and remember time is a constant thing. It's always moving forward. Asterisk is multiply by 10. So it's 1 plus 10 every tick. Okay? And there's 60 ticks in a second. So it's 1 plus 10 in a single 1 plus 10 times 60, basically. Yeah, I think I said that right. I don't know. But that's the code for it. So when you test it in game, this is how it looks. Fight. See, he's rotating his midsection. If you want it to go faster, use a higher number, like say 45. Fight. Now remember, there's only 360 degrees rotation, so your numbers are kind of limited in a sense. So you can only go so fast. I personally like to use 10, for example's sake. I'm sure you noticed that he's in the ground. Fight. That's where his axis is, because if you check debug, axis is right here. And that's where he's spinning around. If you wanted him to be spinning in place, like say for a move, I've learned over the years the best way is to align this like it was an air move, so like 60. So this sprite's going to rotate on this axis regardless of where it's posted in this axis thing overall. So as I do it this time, I'm just going to start spinning in place. See? So for moves where a character hits you and you have them spin, just having them aligned to the midsection and then moving them like this will greatly change how it works. Now, a common mistake people do is they'll use this frame. You can't use this frame because I'll show you what happens. Fight. That's what happens. And why does that happen? Because his axis is still here. It's still at his feet. So it's going to keep rotating that way. So if you're spinning somebody out, use this. Now, what I wanted to do for example's sake was to go over a super animation using exploits and scaling. So I have worked some of that on these effects here. We're going to use a rainbow effect that's going to... Oh, not sure what happened here. Yeah, not sure what happened there with that one. That was weird. I did it again. Okay. If you ever get an animation error like this, hit the red notepad. Actually, no, go to animation, text mode. Scroll down to that area where it's supposed to be. Let's see. Yeah, it looks about right, which is crazy. Okay. Save it. Take off text mode. Okay. Yes, that's correct. No, that is not correct. See, so now it's like, you know what? This is it. Probably the easiest thing to do. Okay, yeah, it pretty much, it happens sometimes with animation files. They tend to crap out real bad. Easy fix, just close it and open it again. There we go. Okay. So we're going to use this for the super sparks. This is going to zoom in and fade out. Okay, so it's got the fade going. We just gotta get the zoom. So you can use multiple interpolations. God, that word. Okay. Yeah, we can use multiples. As you can see, it pretty much scales down really quickly. This is 60 ticks. This is 1 second. Supers are usually 30 ticks, so I'm extending it by doing this. I can also add a rotation to it too if I wanted. Angle. See? So that is a thing. You could do that. I don't think I want to do that. But anyway, so this is gonna go in, and then this is gonna go out. So we have transparency, then we have flip. Scale would be 0, scale 0, okay. Then we're gonna use Interpolate Scale, and then scale is gonna be 3. Also Interpolate Blend, because we're gonna fade it out. Oh, I missed the value somewhere. And also, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Let's see. Maybe that's a 3 right there. There we go. Nope, still the same. Okay, let's try another number. Still the same. That number? Oh, okay, it was that number. Okay, so as it gets bigger, it's gonna fade away. 60 ticks. I think that's still, that's actually really fast for 60 ticks. It's kind of crazy. And then -1. Actually, no, we could just put a 1. Yeah, so see, this is the boom. It'll do explode. Poof. So this is gonna go in, and then this is gonna go out. So now we're going to go to Kung Fu Man, his super Kung Fu Pa, triple Kung Fu Pa. Alright, we have a super pause here, and we're going to use an exploit code. I'll just put it on top. It doesn't make a difference in this case. Exploit, trigger, not time. Not time is the same as time equals 0. Animation will be, what did I put, 6,000? 6,000, 6,000, okay. 6,000, ID 6,000. Where am I gonna put this? -60, I think. That's like middle of his body. There goes the phone again. Facing, V facing, whatever. Bind time, -1, it's a super spark. We don't need it to move or accelerate or randomize. Remove time would be -2. When the animation is over, I'll put it to 1 tick. Yeah. Remove time is 2. Pause move time 999. Scale be whatever the scale is. Sprite priority, I like to put 5. I don't like to use on top because on top makes it display on top of life bars and on top of foreground images sometimes. No shadow. Own palette, yes. Remove on get hit, yes, in case you get interrupted. Copy. Pasta. This and this. And now the difference is time. Time equals, I'm gonna go with 60 and see what happens. It's probably gonna look really janky.
Level up. Fight.
So see, even though 60 looks really fast here, it apparently isn't fast at all in the game. So putting it to 30 is probably better. And I'm gonna get rid of the super pause, by the way. I don't like the way it's interacting with it. So I'll make my own super pause with a pause code. Pause for 60 ticks, not time. Move time will be 60. If I don't change the animation now, that pause is gonna make it look kind of funky. Okay, so right here, I'll just put 60 for that. Everything kind of correlates with each other.
Level up. Fight.
That's really loud. Okay, I can't do it. Okay. Okay, so now it's working, as you can see. We need to just tweak it a tiny bit till it's the way I want it to be. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I want it to be. And this can go probably 45. But yeah, you can do a series of like, you know, super effects and stuff without having to use angle draw and all those things to do things like this. Oh shit, he's doing it too.
Level up. Fight.
See, and I'm not sure why this isn't taking effect, but regardless, I mean, you get it. You just play with the triggers to make things work properly, that's all.
Level up. Fight.
Yeah, that's probably
Level
better.
up. Fight.
So it's going in, and then it comes up. Poosh. You know, I thought I had this effect differently. Yeah, I see I didn't. This is supposed to scale much less than this. Yeah, it's supposed to start with like maybe 0.1. Yeah, it's supposed to be like this. Now it should look right.
Level up. Fight.
That's really loud. So you see, simple as that. Whoosh. And keep the angle draws to, you know, hurt sprites or stuff like that. I mean, you could always use an angle draw for any kind of rotation or scaling. You could, but I just prefer to use it for effects, and rarely those type of moves where you're spinning someone out. Well, I think that pretty much sums up this video on interpolation. Thanks for watching.